Ladies and gentlemen, we're back.
Yes,
And I have to
how
cut
many-
off people in Discord because they're mid-conversation.
Yes, start of the stream. We're just chatting about the large crossover in actors between Star Trek and Stargate.
And how Michelle Forbes seems to really not want a job.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, besides Homicide, she just hasn't been major cast in anything as far as I can tell.
They offered her the role of Major Kira. I'm being told they offered her a recurring role in Voyager. And she just didn't want it. I mean, that's her choice. That's her prerogative, but I mean, it seems like a good paycheck to me.
Yep.
She wanted to work in Baltimore. I don't know.
So today's episodes are Firstborn with Adult Alexander. Well, another Adult Alexander. We've already seen an Adult Alexander. Different one, though. This is the Admiral Gerok Alexander. Or Dr. Mora Alexander, if you prefer. Then there's Bloodlines, where Picard thinks he has a son, and it's a callback to Season 1. I don't know why they brought that main villain back from Season 1. What's his name? Damon Bach?
Yeah.
And then Emergence with New Vertiform City. That's the only episode today that I think is good. The other ones are fine. Emergence is great. Because it's stupid.
It's a holodeck episode.
Yeah.
Those are
We're
great.
going to see
By default.
Mr. Data dressed up in... I don't even know what is he? He's doing some kind of Shakespearean.
Oh, it's the Tempest, right?
Maybe.
It is.
Okay. The only time I've ever seen anything from The Tempest is the play in Life is Strange. I don't know if that counts. There's like one scene in a game. Prospero? I don't know, maybe. He has a cape and he has really bedraggled hair.
Data's playing Prospero, yeah.
Prospero? Okay.
Yep.
I've missed the previous 2 weeks, and I realize now I've missed some good episodes, some of the ones that are my favorites.
Did you
Mm.
know?
Mixed episodes. Very, very mixed.
I like Thine Own Self a lot, and I
Oh,
like
that one,
Masks
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, that 2 weeks ago was decent.
And Journey's End, I had read somewhere on the internet years ago that Wesley Crusher's last thing in the series was he went to live with Native Americans somewhere, and I thought,
yeah.
what? That can't be right. Somebody's pulling my leg. Turns out
Yeah.
he's correct.
No, he
Never
goes
would've
to live
guessed.
with a person who's pretending to be Native American.
Hmm.
There's a bunch of actual
because
Native
of show
Americans
production,
on there. It's their planet. But the one he specifically hangs out with is not. He's just pretending. He's a fake. He's a phony.
He's a fake, or he's just there
the
because he
traveler in
wanted to
disguise.
immigrate there. Oh,
Literally in disguise. If this is your first stream, what you do is you load up your own copy of TNG, Season 7, Episode 21, Firstborn. Whatever episode number
Which-
that is, Firstborn.
Which
Then you
just a
press play
reminder
to
of
press
her,
play.
anyone who is on in the US, it will be leaving Netflix next month.
Oh well.
I
What?
don't believe it is elsewhere in the UK.
TNG?
TNG, Voyager.
Everything.
I've heard Voyager and Enterprise, but I didn't hear TNG.
I don't know if
Deep
it's
Space
for
Nine.
TNG, but Voyager Enterprise certainly. I think it might be Deep Space Nine as well.
Right, 45 seconds till we press play. Everyone be queued up to 0.
I'll take a look again.
The
And-
article I found had Enterprise and Voyager only leaving, but
Right.
doesn't mean that the other ones won't too.
And next week is almost certainly going to be the finale of TNG. Almost certainly.
why only almost?
Because I have jury duty, and it's rare but possible that it will continue through the weekend.
Ah, okay.
If it's a high-profile case, it will continue. Otherwise, it won't.
You get to serve your country.
Yeah, because some people don't believe in jury duty, but I believe in my civic duty. But for now, just press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Not video card dependent, jury duty dependent. I think I fixed the crashing. That's not, a good thing to say, but I think I fixed it. I did some stress testing and I found that my memory overclock was unstable and it was causing crashes.
Well, like your memory might be overheating a bit.
Every computer problem, I could have my printer
Yes.
refusing to print or not printing in red, and you would say it was my video card.
No.
Everything's the video card with
No,
Water balloon fight.
no.
you. Oh, is this another callback to season 1 with the holodeck snowball?
That's a water balloon. It's a rubber ball filled with water.
I'm aware of the nature of a water balloon.
Alexander got me. Sometimes you've just got to smile.
Alexander looks weird. I think it's that his head is too big because of the Klingon makeup with the big forehead. He looks like an acorn.
Yeah.
That really sounds like child abuse.
Yes.
Is this allowed? It's been your first time in forever being called for jury duty? I get called for jury duty every single year. The day I'm eligible to be on a jury again, they send me a letter. Every single time.
Is that a California thing?
TOS, Voyager, and Enterprise.
I don't know about the
That was
the
it.
year thing might be a California thing. I don't know, but it's a year in any case.
I mean, I've
Yeah,
never
TOS as
been
well.
called
I
to
gotta binge that.
jury duty all at once ever.
I knew it was 3. I didn't remember which 3 exactly. TOS, Voyager, and Enterprise are leaving next month.
I think it's
That-
6 months if
just the
you
US,
don't
you said?
actually get called. If
I
you don't
believe
go
so.
on the
It doesn't
jury.
appear to be the UK. And also, Netflix has a thing where it says it on the title if it is leaving,
Right.
and
right.
it's not on the UK version. Well, I did just look at TNG itself. I haven't actually checked the others. That's the point.
No, we're not going to give our verdict by post. We're going to go into the courtroom. We're all going to be there. We're going to have masks. It's
You're
gonna
not
be great.
going to do it via online.
We're not doing Zoom court. I would have preferred to do
Although-
Zoom court for sure. I don't want to go to the courthouse.
Although that has been done, I believe,
It has been.
in the past year and a half.
Famously, there was a guy who didn't know
Lawyer
how to
that
turn off the
couldn't
cat
turn off
face
the
filter.
cat filter.
Say, 3 of us had the same thought at the same time.
Yes. Bye, stars.
Yeah, no. Voyager isn't leaving the UK, fortunately. It's because it's moving to Paramount Plus in the US, and Paramount Plus
Yeah.
doesn't exist in the UK.
Right. It's sort of funny. This Star Trek is just spread out among various UK streamers.
Well, the new ones, yeah. Because it's whoever is the highest bidder.
Didn't Netflix pay to produce Discovery at the beginning?
Yes.
Oh, really?
They bought the rights to use it at the very least. Same
Well,
with-
yeah. I mean,
Right.
they're importing it, right? But that doesn't mean.
They were paying to produce it because they were supposed to be airing it, but then CBS was like, "Oh, we're gonna make our own channel now."
Oh, that
Right.
makes sense. So it actually was a Netflix original. At least it was at first, properly.
I
It
think the
was-
first series was labeled as a Netflix original.
Well, it is. In the UK because they say that with a lot of things that they import from other places.
True.
So, did you say that
remember.
Voyager will be leaving Netflix UK, or that it won't be leaving Netflix in the UK?
It won't be leaving Netflix UK.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'll
There's
still be on
Paramount
Netflix,
Plus,
everyone.
but
Don't
it's
worry.
already
It'll be on
there.
Netflix if you're in the UK, because the UK doesn't have Paramount Plus. Somehow. That's not how the internet works, so I don't know what's up with that. You can
It's
get it from
because of
anywhere.
where it's because of geo-restricted content.
Yeah, but why?
I don't
It's
understand.
their company. They don't have to geo-restrict it. They have all the rights.
Because
That's a
No,
good
they
point.
don't have. They no longer
They
have
don't
the
have the
rights
rights.
to broadcast it in the United States. They only have the rights to broadcast it overseas in other markets where there isn't
No,
Paramount
not
Plus.
Netflix. I'm talking about CBS. Why does CBS not offer Paramount Plus? Well, why does Paramount not offer
I
Paramount
think
Plus
it's because
into the UK?
they might do it later, but they're currently still in contract with Netflix to broadcast it.
Oh, that's probably true.
They have a non-compete.
The broadcasting rights are specifically non-compete. That's how broadcasting rights work
Yeah.
for
Ooh,
online
and Armin
platforms
Shimmerman
anyway.
is Quark. Wait, when does Quark show up today?
Well, they can be exclusive or they can be non-exclusive, but Netflix probably has,
I think both
Yeah.
Netflix and Amazon will have that the company itself can't, so the Paramount can't use their own service to stream it themselves.
Hang on,
Welcome to
when does
contract
Quark show up
discussions
in
for
this
Star Trek
episode?
content. Quark? So
Does Riker?
I expected that this was not what you were expecting to have as the discussion over the episode today.
It doesn't matter. We
But
never
here we
talk about the episode. Who cares?
So Quark shows up because Worf is attacked on this planet, and they frame the Duras sisters, and Riker's trying to
Okay.
find the Duras sisters, and he contacts Quark
I remember now.
to find them.
Cool. Oh, the Vordry Nebula. 3 days on a shuttle. Does the shuttle have warp? Why not? Why couldn't you ask Captain Picard? He could drop you. If it's 3 days at Impulse, the Enterprise can be there in like 5 minutes. It's not an inconvenience. It's fine.
Some of the shuttles do have warp.
The runabouts have warp.
And conveniently, they can work it in right around with the stellar cartography survey, which they get time to do anyway because they're delayed in their primary mission.
Is this the Romulan prison camp again?
Yes.
This is
Yes,
the Festival of the
indeed.
Ancestors. It happens every 42 years.
But how did that happen every 42 years if they didn't know the prison camp existed until a year ago? Also, I think that's the same actress as the prison camp.
Well, I
In
was
slightly
quoting
different
Star
makeup.
Wars Episode 9.
Yeah, she's one. I believe she's one of the ones in Stargate as well. There's a lot of Starfleet officers here.
Yeah. It's
Klingon
Admiral
parties
Jarok.
are the best kind of parties because Klingon parties don't stop.
Yes.
This is the equivalent of Klingon jousting at the Renaissance Festival.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised they're not actually hitting each other.
One of them hit the other one for real, then they'd have to fight to the death. That's how it goes. So
Yeah.
they just
That-
avoid it.
That Starfleet guy in the back. Oh, none of these Starfleet guys have pips. Beverly
He's
has
offering
pips.
him Klingon cotton candy made from underwear.
Oh yeah, that woman behind Molor. That's totally the same actress as the old Klingon from the camp. The old
Oh,
Klingon
this is a
lady.
musical. This is a musical play act that they're watching.
Yes.
Effectively.
All right, son. It's a musical.
Come on, Worf, hit him. Beat him
I'm
up. Oh, hey, Jarok.
Having Bill experience this for the first time reminds me what it was like to see these episodes for the first time.
They're not even connecting the
I think for the
blades.
first time we just don't remember, but
No.
I'm assuming you've never seen it before.
Is there a dedicated K-less cosplayer here that they're waiting for?
Yes.
Well, Alexander takes on the role of beating him up. What if nobody wants to participate? Does Molar just leave?
No, then Kalis shows up.
Oh,
Bad
okay.
guy wins. Maybe.
There you go. Alexander actually wants to beat him. Yes. Good. Kill him. Kill
Uh-oh.
him now.
They're having actual contact now. I hope he doesn't get actually hurt.
Oh,
Oof.
come on. Don't whine about being wounded. Your whole existence in the show exists to be wounded. Oh, that's
Now
an
I
awful
have a
helmet.
talk
Oh,
with
no.
the stage actors and they chew me out.
I don't think we need Kalis. I think Alexander's got this. I think we're fine. And yeah, this does feel weird now that we have an actual Kalis in the Empire. Test tube Kalis.
Yes.
Yep.
How does he feel about this? Seems legit.
They use money. They use money.
Well,
Yeah.
this is a Klingon planet. This isn't a Federation planet. And they use Darsex.
Uh-oh.
God, Jarok, why do you look so menacing all the time? Even when he's Dr. Mora, he looks kind of menacing. I guess that's just him. That's just his face. Worf, did you bring a gun?
Or any weapon of any kind.
Yeah, didn't you have a sword before? Was that someone else's sword?
He usually has something, all right, you know?
He usually has his mech
Being a
in
Worf.
his
I remember the
pocket.
end of Star Trek not explaining the loop.
I don't think they introduced the mechlith yet, have they?
No, I think they
Or maybe
have.
they have.
Extremely-
He could at least
That
have
was
a
a Deep
knife.
Space Nine thing. Did he have
Like
it when
that.
he went to the prison camp?
Worf didn't do anything. That's Admiral Jarok. He called you a Patak or something. Remember?
Which brother?
Hearn. I don't think Nikolai sent this guy here to protect Worf. That seems unlikely.
No, he means Kern.
I'm pretty sure it was Nikolai. What if instead of surrounding him menacingly, they just, like, shot him from behind the pillar? He's so angry. What did they do to you?
He's being really intense.
Calm down, man. Everything's fine. Do they die today? No, they die in generations.
So Ryder just puts all of his fingerprints and all of that over the dagger.
Yeah, it's fine. After they were so careful to keep it wrapped up. Surely he wants to live in Worf's quarters.
Can you say thank you?
It occurs to me that this is just kind of the Klingon version of the Visitor. with what we'll learn later. No, don't you see, Alexander? I did it for you. Worf never knew how Klingons behave.
Weeb.
Klingons do not laugh. Yes, they do, Worf.
Shit. All the time.
Except this guy. This guy never laughs. He's angry constantly. I doubt your ability to raise your son as a Klingon. I doubt your ability
Doubt
to
his
raise your
ability
son
to
as
raise
anything.
his son at all.
Yeah. You're a terrible
I
father,
doubt his
Worf.
ability to raise his son, like for his son to get to adulthood alive.
No, Worf really is the problem with the Klingon Empire. Not everyone has to be a warrior. Why can't he be a lawyer or a gardener? Why can't he be a farmer?
Well, one of
People-
Worf's ancestors was a lawyer.
Yeah.
But
You
not a
need
very good
other
one,
jobs
but
than
he-
just
he was-
soldiers, Worf. Don't push him so hard. Let him do whatever he wants, man. Well, not whatever he wants. He's a child. He needs limits, but you know.
So it's been like a year and a half since we've seen Alexander on the show. Like if we were to count actual time, where has he been this whole time? Is he? Are we supposed to believe that he's just been there and Worf has been his dad the whole time?
Yeah, he's been off
Yeah.
screen.
Been in his quarters. Worf puts him in stasis when he doesn't want to.
Oh, it's a picture of Kalar.
It said it's reverse status, he ages faster.
I bet I could find that exact screenshot from the episode with Kalar.
I wonder if that's a screenshot that they took or if they took it from a publicity photograph.
Maybe. I don't think he would like it there. Kronos sucks. It's all heavily industrialized and there's people yelling and it's smoggy.
What happens to Kern's kids when he gets his memory wiped? What happened to them? Because they say that he's got cousins, so they just wiped Kern's memory and left the kids to drift in the wind, or what?
Let's be specific here. They wiped Kern's memory without his consent and left his kids to drift in the wind.
I mean, Kern was also trying to kill
Well,
himself.
yeah, Kern wanted to die, so they kind of gave him his wish. He died. Kern died, and there was a new person that emerged.
Sure.
There's a good practical point here that that Alexander doesn't want to become a warrior, but yet he just had a situation where if he was, he would have been able to defend his father's life.
Yeah, if you get mugged, that doesn't
If
mean
you-
you need to join the army.
No, no, but the point is you should know some combat and you should know some self-defense. So
Or
that when
he
you're
could carry a
called
gun.
to do that kind of thing, you're prepared. Well, yeah, but also learning how to use a gun properly is another form of training.
How about, you know what? Instead of pepper spray on Kronos, everyone should carry a pain stick. So if someone tries to mug you, just hit him with the pain stick.
Oh, they might like it though.
Pain stick. Yeah, they're masochists. They'd be like, yeah, give me that good shit.
Oh yeah,
You
it's
get
all
the Klingon with a pain stick, he's like, harder, daddy.
Don't make it weird.
Always weird.
We
with
patched
Klingons.
through to my new job.
Check the Duras sisters' Facebook account. See what their last check-in location was.
I
Is
think
this
they're
Cisco's
dead. Didn't they
office?
die?
Not yet.
Oh, no, I
Where-
mean in real life.
Oh,
One of them
I
died
don't
at
know.
Wait,
least.
where's Quark
Yeah.
right now? Is that Ops?
No, it looks like crew quarters.
Why is there a lady with a gun?
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Maybe
Yeah.
it's like a subspace transmission public phone kind of thing.
It's a phone booth.
Well, given Quark's history on the station, I'd expect it would be a public thing, or have guards in there to make sure he's not doing anything illegal.
But did they even arrange the call, or did Riker just call
He's
out of
been
the blue?
patched through to Quark, so Quark's come to somewhere to pick up the transmission, I expect.
Okay.
I don't know Deep Space Nine's layout that well, but
It's probably whatever set was available at the time to shoot this.
yeah.
That's Cisco's office.
So I've described Deep Space Nine in the past as like an airport. I wonder if this room is like the equivalent of them saying, "Quark, please pick up the blue phone."
Okay.
So, how many grams is a bar of latinum?
Oh wait, we
Yes.
did this one day. Do you remember?
Oh,
We
it
figured this
belongs
out.
to
I
the
don't remember.
Packlets. The Packlets, yes. Yes, good. We have mentioned them, but nothing's happening with them. They just mention the Packlets casually and don't do anything with them as the Starfleet itself.
If I had to estimate, based on the size of the bar on the screen, just off the top of my head, and I don't remember what we found it out to be. It's
I'm looking
probably
at a picture
about
of Cisco's office. It looks like his
10 or
window is a
12
lot wider
pounds.
and more ovally than that one.
maybe like 5 kilograms per bar.
Hey, wow, we did it. He must be so happy. We solved the problem for him. So little faith in the Federation. Oh god, if you look at the Amazon X-ray, the picture of Alexander is tiny little baby Alexander actor.
Yeah. Brian Bonsall.
So he can stab someone, Alex.
And James Sloyan as Kamtar.
But why carry a big sword that's like as tall as him? Why not give him a gun? Why does Worf have a tiny knife instead of a gun?
He brought a bat'leth to a phaser fight. Leverage.
No, the
Doesn't
most
take
important
much
weapon,
to-
Kimtar, is a gun.
Use gun on man. He's locking
Doesn't-
that knife very well.
Doesn't take much to bend somebody's finger into them rolling over to avoid it getting broken. They're playing a Nintendo game. The bad guys vanished once they're killed.
Yeah.
Yep.
They could vanish in real life if he used a phaser.
This is called telegraphing.
Yeah, if you're in a knife fight, that seems like a bad swing to make. You don't need to swing all the way
Yeah.
behind you. I mean,
You know the difference between the winner and the loser of a knife fight?
the person who has the gun.
I love how it's a sharp blade
loser
that does
died-
nothing when he whacks it straight into the guy.
The loser dies in the street, the winner dies at the hospital.
Look, if you're gonna stab someone, don't telegraph it so much. Don't swing all the way behind you. Just, like, poke them. It's a knife. It doesn't take that much pressure to stab someone. Especially a small child like that. Come on. You know, if we're concerned about the fighting abilities of an adult Klingon, oh, hey, Tracy, who can easily overpower a small child, what if we get rid of the strength equation and gave Alexander a gun?
That's not fighting like a Klingon warrior, which they're trying to do.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was about survival.
No.
Where is Captain Picard?
Yes.
He's not getting paid today. Don't worry about it.
Survival without
episode is-
without honor is no survival at all.
Not without. This episode is primarily about culture, and secondarily about survival. Apparently,
Hi, Gorta.
Bill,
Hi,
before that, what was the last thing you said?
I said without something, which was prompted by you, but that wasn't the sentence
sorry,
I wanted to start.
Before that.
I forgot.
Yeah, you were saying something. I wanted to riff off of it, but I can't remember what you said. Never mind.
So, what species is this guy?
I think we've seen his species before. I want to say Lesepian, but that doesn't sound right.
No, I don't think that's a Sepian. I don't know that we have ever named this particular species.
Adoptarian.
Okay.
Oh, they're related to Ferengi. Remember, they were in. It was the one that stole Ambassador
stuff.
Troy's brooch.
Oh, that too. He's also the one that stole Worf stuff, and Worf, like, busted him out of the ceiling.
He had his tooth sharpener.
He had his tooth sharpener. He had Nog's tooth sharpener that Worf bought.
Oh, he's into that.
This guy sounds familiar, but I looked him up, and he's not really in anything.
Sounds like Armin Shimmerman to me.
I don't recall.
Well, he still has his shirt on his back. Oh, is Tracy here? No.
Whoa.
Always angry. Wow. A Klingon who doesn't know anything about Klingon ways, who lives with humans. That sounds so familiar. Where have we heard that before, Worf?
All right. So the thing that gets me about this episode is that Alexander travels back in time. Something that is, anytime other time we see it, it's super difficult, and it's only in certain situations that they do it. But
Unless
he
you
does it so
count TOS as
casually
canon,
to,
in which
to
case
what?
it's
Save-
super casual. You can do it every day.
super easy. It's just saving his dad's life, basically.
Yeah.
It's as easy as making a milkshake.
The Klingons have, I don't know if it's mentioned in this episode, but it is in Discovery, so it's canon that Klingons have time crystals which they can use to travel through time. They are
Also,
monastery type thing, though.
Does this Kern, not Kern, does this Alexander come from the same time as Admiral Janeway? Janeway.
Zhane.
Admiral Janeway.
But I am late.
This Alexander comes from a timeline that doesn't exist ultimately, because he brings back a dagger that has the Duras sisters' son on it, and the Duras sisters die in about 6 months.
Yeah. Well,
Why?
maybe they're like, maybe the son is being born right now, and he's just somewhere else at the time of generations.
No, she says she
Well, she is
just told her
pregnant.
sister that she's pregnant. Like,
Right.
2
So
days ago.
Yeah.
the knife
That
is
works
from
out.
the very last crest before they died.
Yes, the son wasn't on the ship with Lursa and Baitor, and he grew up somewhere else, and is adult. Baby Lursa. I don't know what the name is. I think that works out.
What kind of a mustache style do you call that Worf has?
It's the same one that all Klingons have.
Fu Manchu.
That sounds unlikely. 12 days, 12 nights of fighting. How often do Klingons need to sleep?
Klingons are famous for exaggerating their stories, so like.
Yeah.
In other
sure,
words, they're
12
famous
days
for
and 12 nights.
lying.
It's creative exaggeration, not lying.
Well, they do. They at this time they do lie a lot, a hell of a lot, even from Enterprise.
Don't question the dogma, just accept it, Alexander. That sounds... Oh, this really sounds like propaganda. Oh no.
This is
question the
definitely
story.
brainwashing.
What's Alexander, 1/4 human? Worf is full and Kalar was half?
Is that correct?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah, that's correct.
You're special.
Oh, I've forgotten what it's called.
Okay,
but
does
I'd
he still
almost
have to
call it
join the army if he
something
goes to
else.
Kronos? Or can he be a writer? And he's literally going to send Alexander to boot camp for misbehaving children. No, boot camp in Klingon culture is for behaving children.
So the Rite of Ascension deadline is age 13, assuming Terran years. But how old is Alexander right now? At least in
It's like
Terran
5.
years.
Then he's going to send Alexander to Klingon camp.
Yeah. Alexander's 5 or 6 here, because Worf and Kalar got together in season 1 or 2, I think 2. So he's got time.
None of us here have ever had children. I think we've discussed that before in real life. But I imagine that this is one of those really tough moments as a parent.
Mm.
Oh, when your kid doesn't want to take the job that you had planned out for them, and you have to coerce
That's
them
an
into it.
interesting ship design.
Magnesite? Is that a real thing?
Magnesite. God, now it's pointed out, where is Captain Picard? What is he doing today? Where did he go?
I get the captain's chair. I get the captain's chair.
He was here earlier.
Well, so he went off to do some archaeology thing. That's what he was talking about at the beginning of the episode.
But why?
Because they're just waiting for a rendezvous. So like he
was out on a. He was at this time he might have been out on the tryouts for Batman and Robin as Mr. Freeze.
To be fair, Patrick Stewart was phoning it in since season 4, and season 7 he's just checked out.
That doesn't sound right. I don't believe that at all.
Nah, me neither.
He didn't think it was going to last past one season. He wanted it out in season 3. That's why they had the cliffhanger, because they thought he was there and they might kill him off if he didn't sign again. And he signed on through season 6. Yeah, well, money is a very good motivator. It doesn't make him want to be there. So if you think about some of...
Hang on.
I don't know.
Do you have a source for this information?
Yeah, I'll find it.
Manjoran biomimetic gel. Is that some super powerful aphrodisiac? Is that why that guy was so easily swayed?
Well, biomimetic gel is something that comes up in DS9 a couple times. It's this very strictly controlled... Wait, is that a triangle?
That's no, it's not trying to shift.
Are we sure?
Whoa.
I mean, it wasn't supposed to be a ship, but did they use the ship model for this magnesite ore? And, like, paint it gray? Then why were you cloaked? Oh, hey, Tracy. There is a little bit of inconsistency about biomimetic gel. They talk about it in Preemptive Strike next week, about how it's perfectly legal to transport through the DMZ, which doesn't sound consistent. They talk about it like it's cocaine most of the time. Explosive cocaine.
Biomimetic gel was a liquid substance used in the study of genetics that was highly regulated as contraband by Federation law. Its sale was forbidden, and it could be hazardous if not transported correctly. Its applications
Stovo
include
core?
But not necessarily transporting it.
organic
I think
weapons,
you just
as well as
said-
illegal genetic
Did
cloning
Worf just say on
experiments.
My Star Trek, go to HE double hockey sticks to her?
No, he said Stovokor, which is heaven.
I guess. Go to heaven, is that a polite way to say it? I feel like if you yelled at someone, go to heaven, they'd just be confused.
Well, you're still wishing that they were dead.
Wait, where's your brother? What happened to, God, I don't even know his name. Taral. With child. Why can the market not be Taral?
Because he's not related to her.
Is he not?
At least not
they're
biological, not
House
like
of Doros.
direct descendants. She said it represents specifically her son.
I feel like she's making
if it is
assumptions
specifically
here.
her son.
Oh, jeez, what are you doing? How's this gonna help?
Hmm?
How could that possibly help Kimtar's goals here? Then why are you trying to use gun on Alexander? Why?
The position Worf's hand was in there is not the position that you're going to inflict a lot of force with.
Well, that's his favorite, though. That's also kind of like Guinan's magic hands. Anti-Q hands. Can we, like, get a genetic test here? Also, that's quite an assumption, because if he was 3 years old, I don't know if you can expect someone to remember someone from that age. An
Also,
exact
he wasn't
wording.
3 years old. He was like 9 months old.
Therefore, we know this Alexander's a fake. It's all a lie. Are we gonna get an explanation for the gun? We gotta zoom in on the gun, but it's not bringing it up. Really? Just casual back alley time travel? Also, this guy does not look anything like adult Alexander. Adult Alexander just looks like baby Alexander, but slightly taller. So how's the weather? Okay, so he was trying to be cool about it. Yeah, no, I'm with Alexander here. The Klingon Empire is just going to kill itself if it doesn't chill out for a minute. We've already had a civil war recently. Probably going to have more. Also, I have now been sent links talking about, while trying to provide proof that Captain Picard didn't want to return. Sorry, not Captain Picard. Patrick Stewart didn't want to return for season 7. But none of those links actually say that. They say that he didn't want to return as Captain Picard for the Picard series. Specifically, he didn't want to return for any series. And it was Picard that, like, convinced him otherwise. They don't say anything about TNG.
The first one I sent was about TNG.
Well, that was about a contract dispute for season 3.
That's what I'm saying. That they first.
That doesn't mean he didn't want to be Picard in season 7.
I'm looking for the interview where he said he didn't want to do the show to begin with at all. That he didn't expect it to go past the first season. But
yeah, we know that.
He said that himself.
Well, those are two different things.
That's a completely different claim.
He didn't want to return. He didn't want to return for season 4, and then he had a contract up through season 6, and he didn't want to return for season 7. But eventually, they got him to sign on for season 7 and season 8. The season 8 didn't happen. It became a movie.
I specifically only want a source for the claim that he didn't want to come back for season 7.
Yeah, I'll find it.
Like he didn't.
It was an interview. It was an interview with them. So it's gonna be like having to go through a bunch of YouTube videos and find the interview.
Okay. Well,
I remember there was an interview.
Do you think I made it up? I don't understand.
I remember there was an interview on a British double-decker bus of Patrick Stewart. Like he cut the red ribbon for it, and then the newscaster was interviewing him on the top floor of it. And one of the questions was, would you ever be willing to return to playing Jean-Luc Picard? And he said, if it was done very, very well. And that was several years before Picard was in process.
Well, there was an
I'm just
interview with him
concerned that you might be
where he was
misremembering
talking
it, 'cause
about.
that doesn't sound right at all.
There was an interview with him talking about taking the role initially, and he didn't want to take it because he thought it was beneath a Shakespearean actor to do television sci-fi.
Yeah, he was kind of unbearable in season 1, according to all the interviews.
Yeah.
And he a fact that he let known when one of the Shakespearean actors left to do Doctor Who. Like he didn't relent on that, and then they had him audition for the part and didn't even really want to be there.
And Gene Roddenberry didn't want him as well.
Gene Roddenberry didn't want him, but his friend was like, "Listen, look, this. They might film a few episodes. It's gonna get canceled. It won't even make it to the first season. Just do the show, get a little money in your pocket. Get to spend some time in California, meet some women, and then go back to England. Like that's it. You're here for a few months. It's like a vacation, right?" And so he signed on, thinking he's like, "Yeah, it's not even gonna make it through the first season. I mean, what's the big deal?" And then it's going on and on and on, and he wanted out as after season 3. They got him to sign on, but he signed on through season 6. And then the same type of thing happened for season 7 and 8. And then the same thing happened for the movies. They had to get him to do, what was it? It was hard to get him to do Insurrection. It was really hard to get him to do Nemesis. Like, they had to give him creative control. That's why that whole Doom Buggy scene exists, is because he's like, if I'm gonna do the movie, I gotta drive Doom Buggy. That's my addition to the movie. That was all him. Like, that whole sequence, that vehicle, the special shuttle to carry it, that was all just to get him to do the movie.
Okay. 1 minute countdown to the next episode, Bloodlines. Everyone be queued up.
And then he willingly did Picard of his own choice. He changed his mind in the intervening years.
He changed his mind. Well, he didn't want to do it originally, and then he changed his mind. But I think what it is he hates the character. He hates doing it. I think he appreciates the fame it brings him, but I don't think he appreciates the fans. I think he just
Look, you're making a lot of broad assumptions here.
I think he likes the money. I think it's about it.
There's a lot of assumptions going on.
Yeah.
Do you feel like...
Let's chill out about Patrick Stewart's acting career for a minute. It's fine.
I'm not saying he's a bad actor. I think he's a great actor. I don't think he
Everyone
likes Star
be ready
Trek.
to press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Bloodlines, a new TNG episode. Season 7, episode 22.
Ooh, who just joined?
Oh, and there's Tracy. Oh, now we can't see
Tracy
Tracy.
didn't join.
Hi guys.
Hi.
It's ear review.
Not Tracy.
There she is. In the bed.
Yeah. God, last time that happened, it was the Borg. I feel like Shield should come up anytime anyone asks for the captain by name. It never goes well.
Oh, it's a Bach episode, isn't it?
Hi guys.
Yeah. Daemon Bach. So that's a different actor?
Yeah.
Looks familiar.
He's played Ferengi in other episodes.
Lee Ehrenberg. Yeah, I definitely recognize him. Oh, right. Because remember, he was the guy from Pirates of the Caribbean, the like comedy pirate duo.
Huh?
He's the shorter guy with the beard that doesn't have a glass eye.
I know the characters. Oh, Lee Ehrenberg.
Lee Ehrenberg.
According to the side X-ray thing.
This is a little bit like when the Klingons killed Kirkstone.
You
So
played on
who's-
bastard, you killed my son.
Yeah.
You can't swear
Who
in
do you
my
say,
Star
Jason-
Trek.
Jason who?
Vigo.
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 Don't worry,
Vigo,
it's not
like
important.
Vigo the Carpathian. Vigo.
Bye,
he's
Stars.
He is Vigo. You are like the buzzing of flies to him.
And father to Vigo.
Right.
But
Okay.
Robo.
My
The-
point is, I don't remember hearing that name ever before.
No. You wouldn't
Lee
because he
Ehrenberg?
doesn't know that's his son.
Or
He's a
Vigo.
private man. He doesn't talk about his past girlfriends with his crew.
Okay.
But
So
Robo,
Lee
it's
Ehrenberg
called
has
the
previously played, well, not previously, has played Ambassador Grawl on Star Trek Enterprise. He played Pelk on Voyager. Daemon Bach in 2 episodes. Well, no, Daemon Bach in Bloodlines and Daemon Prack in Force of Nature. He was in DS9 as Grawl. I don't know who Grawl is. Wait, did he play 2 characters named Grawl? He played 2 characters named Grawl. They were different people.
Maybe two instances of the same person.
No, one was the
It's like-
Tellarite, one was the Ferengi.
It's like Michael Dorn playing
Interesting.
Worf, Lieutenant Commander and Security Officer, and Worf, the Klingon prosecutor during Star Trek 6.
I don't
think it
feel
was-
like
was he the
the
prosecutor or
Tellarite
defense? I thought he was the
ambassador
defense.
is the ancestor to the
Defense.
Ferengi, though. That seems unlikely.
But Robo, the special shuttle in Star Trek Nemesis is called the Captain's Yacht.
No, they had the captain's yacht, which is the Calypso, but then they had a special shuttle for the
Dune
Dune
buggy.
buggy that was
Okay.
unique, bespoke for that scene.
All right.
Also, did they use the yacht in
Captain's
Nemesis?
yacht was in
I thought it was
Captain's
in
yacht was in
Insurrection.
Insurrection.
Thanks.
They Brent Spiner just doing a little jig there.
Why do
He's
you
a great
always have
actor.
to put your foot on Data's console?
Because it's freaks with his bad back.
It's so impolite, though. Gee, I guess it cleans itself.
It's called the Argo shuttle, and the Dune buggy was called the Argo, and it's literally made by a company in real life, and it's called the Argo in real life.
I was gonna ask for my nerd card back, but it looks like I'm never getting it back.
God, Picard, you're supposed to take your shot to prevent this kind of thing from happening.
Your shot?
Yeah, in Star Trek, they have birth control shots.
Yeah, and it's like permanent until they undo it, right?
No. No, Cisco got Cassidy pregnant because he forgot one shot.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Why don't they both get a shot?
they do. Both people need to take it.
Well, then why? Wait, both people have to take it for it to work? That seems silly. It should work. It should be
Well,
single
don't wor-
fault. Like
it's
you
Star
should.
Trek. Don't worry
No,
about it.
There's
I don't think they ever say that
if
both
people
take it.
if
I might have
both
made that
people
part
use contraception, you're going to have more effectiveness than
Yeah.
only one.
1% chance
No
of
matter what.
failure,
Well, you think
or you
it-
can have
in
1%
the
of
21st
1% chance
century-
of failure.
Well, I think the whole point of that injection in Deep Space Nine is to like give men some
It's a plot
responsibility with taking birth control because like in our society it's always women who have to take it.
I would love a male birth
Good one.
control
Oh, you
pill
can
or
get
shot.
you can
That'd
get a
be great.
vasectomy. Yes,
Well,
exactly.
yes, I'm talking about reversible.
Well, a vasectomy is easier to
100%.
reverse than a tubal ligation. that
Litigation.
women do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The definitely would like a male birth control.
I think there's
Yeah. They
were doing some
something
experiments a
entering
few years
human
ago.
trials this year. I don't remember what.
I saw something where they were working on an injection that would go into the vas deferens and it could be like dissolved.
Yeah, it's like a gel.
Yeah, it dissolves
Just
over time.
blocks it.
Yeah. Or yep. I also saw one where they actually install a valve basically, and you could trigger it wirelessly. But
I don't. Okay, I don't want a wireless. I don't
my-
want Bluetooth enabled birth control. That no.
birth control on or off. My ex was trying to
Enable
what's the
Bluetooth
phrase?
on you.
Baby trap me. So
No, that's wow.
yes, I would really like male form of birth control that I could take. Having had that experience.
But Cisco's birth was miraculous because his mother was chosen by the prophets. So I think it's also understood that like his child would also be kind of miraculous.
I don't know if I'd call it miraculous. His mom was just possessed by a spooky space ghost and was forced to have a child with someone else.
Yeah, and then he forgot to take the shot, so it's not miraculous either.
Did he forget to take the shot because like the prophets made him forget? So then
Yeah,
it-
he's busy doing the war.
Well, the
so
prophets
they
didn't
made him
even
forget.
want him to marry Cassidy. I don't think they'd be
Well,
willing to further
that's
their
the punishment.
relationship.
Remember, they said they would be penance. Your penance is for getting your birth
Oh, now
control.
Cisco's new child is the Cisco.
What
I mean,
happened to
you know,
Jake? What's
I was
Jake?
just-
Jake
I was
Who
just
cares about
thinking-
Jake?
More than a new TNG movie, we need a DS9 movie
Tracy.
where like Cisco comes back.
Mm-hmm.
I
I'm
think
still
it's funny
disappointed
that
that we never got one.
the
Yeah.
actor who played Kern plays old Jake Cisco.
Can't just beam someone up like that. It's very impolite.
But that TNG episode we just watched never comes up again because like Worf is not killed in the High Council. Well, he might be.
Yeah, no, you can't. They can't just beam you back onto a rock face. That's not going to work.
Right. He's just gonna go back into the same position and
Yeah. Of course I
That's
know
how.
him.
That's how
It's
you
me.
die and fall to your death. It's bad. Did we really have to bring the flagship for this? I'm still with Jason. Don't they have something better to do? Couldn't they send a runabout or something? Why did they send the whole Enterprise?
The captions there left out the space between my and son, so he's
Myson.
under the impression that you are my son.
Who's Myson? Is that the plural of mice? Like if you have two different brands of mice, what are they called? Breeds? Two different kinds of mice, are they Myson?
probably just because.
The funny thing is, his
That
mom
look
never-
Picard gave him. He's like, you insolent little shit. You'd be lucky to have a father like me.
Yeah, but it does
Would
make his
he
life
though?
On the
picture.
flagship.
I don't know if he would be lucky to have a father like Captain Picard. 'Cause Captain Picard's never. He doesn't have a home life. He's always on the ship.
Well, it may not be a good father, but it would definitely be get you through the door in certain places. I'm Captain
Oh,
Picard's son.
nepotism. That's what you want your father to do for you.
I mean, it is an
Yeah.
easy entry into Starfleet Academy.
You have to be sponsored by someone, and I guess Picard would sponsor him. Sometimes you have to be sponsored. Nog had to be. Nog had to be sponsored. Wesley had to take some
No, but-
crazy
Because
psych
I think
evaluation.
he had to be sponsored because he was from a non-Federation world.
Someone told me once, right? So, and I'm not sure how true this is, but if your parent gets a Medal of Honor or a Presidential Medal of Freedom, then you're pretty much automatically guaranteed entry into West Point or the Naval Academy at Annapolis or so on.
Picard has a son. Wow.
Yeah, this is Kirk stuff. Like this is just this is season 7. They're out of ideas. The show's wrapping up. They're like,
Oh,
so which
Vigo, oh,
episodes do we
no.
not make?
Oh, look at that statue. It's giving itself an oh no.
I'm giving myself a no-no. Vigo, that outfit is awful.
Did you not notice it before?
Wesley.
Well,
wore
he was
something
covered
just
in
like that.
climbing gear before, and I wasn't really looking at sickbay.
He's still
Mostly in
his
sickbay, we were
climbing
seeing him
unitard.
from the belly up. And there are other. Yeah, there's more.
You know,
to
they
it
could
than
have done
that.
something with that, huh?
I was at the
They could
convention
have
once,
given
and
him some
one of the
pants.
I was
They could've-
at a convention once, and one of the panels was on costume making, and they said that for men, an athletic supporter is a pretty important thing, if not for your privacy, at least for other people's privacy.
Yeah, well, they could have done something like they could put a bright yellow circle around it, or giant orange arrow.
Wait, Teo Grey Hot? Excellent.
And then the funny thing is, though, Nemesis was built on this entire premise too, that Picard has a son, and then we're supposed to.
Nemesis?
Nemesis.
movie.
He's a
The
clone.
movie.
Yeah, well, true, but
It's a younger
He looks
you,
at
a
him-
son.
yeah, it is.
Is a younger clone a son? I don't think
I
so.
mean, a son is definitely a younger clone.
Though strictly speaking, all clones of
Well,
you would have to
it's-
be younger than you.
Right.
I mean, because we can't clone, reproduction
Well,
is
no,
our
because
cloning.
so you could take a zygote, right? And you could fertilize it, and then when it starts dividing,
put
you
it
could
in
take a
cryo.
sample, and then you could freeze it, and you could make a clone of the original zygote, and then implant the zygote and carry it to term. So then you could have a clone that was older than you.
Okay, sure. In those
Through
very
a roundabout.
specific circumstances, I guess you could, but why? Why would anyone ever do that in any circumstance ever?
Okay, no one here has a clone.
I don't
do
know,
that.
but I'm just saying it's
Possible.
it's possible in the 24th century, sure.
Might
Okay.
be possible today, really. We can clone things.
Yeah,
It's probably not ethical,
absolutely.
but we could do it.
It's not not ethical, and it would cost a lot of money, and probably not work the first few times either.
It might take a few tries, but whatever. If something dies when it's like 4 cells, who cares?
Right.
Just try again.
I mean, they're paying $100,000. We'll try 26 times. That's fine. But you know, we were saying Picard doesn't have a family life. He is kind of really reaching out to Mr. Vigo over here. He wants to be a dad. He's being very protective, and he's fulfilling this fantasy that he's always had that he could have a family. You know, I was saying they ran out of ideas. They are actually developing the character kind of in a nice way that I never realized.
Also,
He's
in
a good
this
dad.
episode, Captain Picard is putting in a great deal of effort to save a single life. I would just like to point out that he's previously let entire planets die.
He's a good dad, like I said.
Saving one life does not redeem a man of a
He
lifetime
wasn't-
of wickedness.
He wasn't the reason those other planets were imperiled. Here, he's directly
He's the reason they
responsible for
died. He could
Vigo.
have saved them and didn't.
No, it's true. But it reminds me of the person who they may run the country, you know, through like a South American drug operation or something. But they come home and they be a really good dad, but they don't tell you that they killed 26 people today and put their bodies in acid.
What does Damon even mean? I mean, I assume it means captain, but
It's like
why
captain.
Damon?
Yeah.
But when the show started, the pronunciation was Daemon, by the way.
Why Gaul? Why Gaul? Why Leggett? Because they had to come up
Well, goal
birds.
is because they really like birds.
Wait, may I add? Daemon comes from ancient Greek. It's where our word demon comes from. But actually, a daemon is just an intelligence or a genie that kind of lives in your head. So poets, philosophers, Socrates had one too. It would tell him to stand there all night in thought, and then in the morning he made a prayer to the sun god and left.
Sounds like mental illness to me.
There's a spark of genius. The line between
Oh, is this the first canon reference to the Zendi? Wait, is it the Zendi or
Yes.
the
It's
Zindi?
Cindy.
That
Yeah,
wasn't the
Cindy
Zindi,
and
it was
I.
the
Different
Zandi.
things.
the Zendi Sabu system, so that is the Zindi.
I don't know what
It's
their
not
home
the
system is
Zindi,
called
it's
in
not the
Enterprise.
Kazinti. It's the Zendi.
So I was watching a YouTube video, and they said that the Maquis was created specifically for Voyager. So they
Wait,
were
hang on,
seeding. They were
I never
seeding the
said that in the
Maquis in
video.
next gen. Yeah,
Were you watching another Star Trek channel?
perhaps.
That's not.
It was a
Marvel.
channel, and the video was about Star Trek. I don't know if it was a Star Trek channel.
Being
That's not to dwell on such minutia. Well, anyhow, so basically that they set up the Maquis specifically for Voyager in TNG,
Yes.
like going back like 3 or 4 years before they even launched Voyager. It's crazy.
So, hang on,
Yeah,
Beverly.
And
Voyager, the show.
the first episode next
hang
week
on.
will specifically be
Beverly.
setting up Voyager, or meant to
Beverly-
be anyway.
Beverly is kind of sitting with her feet on the chair, and I mean, I'm sitting like that right now, Beverly, but I'm also not in the military talking to the captain.
She always does that. Like pretty much all the time she's in a personal conversation, she lifts her legs up onto the chair.
He wants everyone to know that she's a dancer and she's very flexible.
Or maybe
Okay.
she's
You
just
don't have to be
flirting.
flexible to put your feet on a chair. If you can't do that, there's
And-
something wrong with you.
I like how he knows not to ask Worf for parenting advice.
Oh boy. She's gonna turn on her heart beam and get a peek at something she didn't want to see.
What does that even mean? Do I want to know what that means?
Just her empathy.
It's a Ferengi trying to kill you. They're not even a threat, man. Don't worry about it. Just gonna fall all over himself trying to do it. Oh God, I hate you, Vigo. Leave her alone.
Yeah, any good flirt? No, that's how it starts. So where you from?
Yeah,
Don't-
he went in too hot, too fast. He needed
Don't
Yeah.
hit on the
to
counselor.
give it time to simmer.
You've known this woman
Yeah.
like 30 seconds. Calm down.
Yeah.
He needs to build rapport with her first.
Not only that, you've known this woman specifically, as she said, in a professional capacity.
Yeah.
You need to let it simmer, let her get emotionally invested a little bit, and then show her that you're vulnerable, and then you know.
He's like,
I don't
But-
think he's that dumb. I think he wanted to get rid of her.
Yeah.
True.
Maybe.
or he's
I
like,
mean, to me,
my
it sounded
dad's the
like
captain.
he went and was hitting on the barista, effectively. Someone who's
Yeah.
just trying to do their job and you're harassing him.
Now you're comparing Counselor Troy to a barista? No offense to baristas, but I mean, she's a commander. She can command a starship.
Okay, yeah, my point was more that it's a common job where people interact with customers.
And they have to hear about their life's problems.
Fine, it's like someone hitting on
Because
your...
when people pretend to be nice to you, people who are really lonely think that you're interested, and then so
Yeah.
you're like, oh, she's into me. It's not just the money I'm handing her.
Yeah. Or more like you're captive to people who have nothing better to do, and therefore you have to listen sometimes, like being a barber or a bartender.
So last time we've interacted with Damon Bach, he gave Captain Picard a weird memory sphere that forced him to relive a battle on a... What's the ship called? It's
The
a Constellation
Stargazer.
class? Stargazer.
Can I get my
So-
nerd card?
Sure. We know that Damon Bach's big thing is mental manipulation. I feel like these people should bring that up. Be aware of that in particular.
Yes, but
Look at that
did you
warp
know that
core.
in that episode they swapped out
Thank
the
you, Mr.
model
David.
of the starship in his office with a Constitution class
Yes.
model, a refit? And originally it was going to be a Constitution class, and if you look at LeVar Burton's mouth, he says Constitution, and they dubbed it over
Yes.
with Constellation. And then when they did the special effects, they changed it, obviously. So then after that episode, the model in his office was back to the Constellation model. So for one episode, he had a silver Constitution refit model in his office.
His
the
ready
next two-
room?
Yeah, in his ready room.
It's slightly interesting to have two security personnel for just watching someone.
Yeah, I mean,
What's wrong with you?
the
man?
idea is that he's under like he's the president's son or something under maximum security.
I don't agree that the ship is the safest place you could be. It seems like that would be the first
Yeah, the
place
Enterprise
Spock would
has a
look
pretty
for
big
you.
death toll.
Yeah, you could hide him on like the far side of a moon or something.
Like, can we bring him to Earth? Beam him to some random place on Earth?
Yeah, you could probably
Put
put
him
him
in
in
a
the
transporter buffer like Scotty did on the Genova.
you could put him in Federation headquarters. He'd be fine.
No, he wouldn't.
That's Kelvin timeline. It doesn't count.
No, that's TNG multiple times.
DS9, the Bream bomb it.
the
Space bugs in what, season 2?
yeah, the changelings in conspiracy.
Is he inexperienced? Wait, what climbing has Captain Picard done?
he climbed down that cave
Frere Jacques,
in the episode where he got
Okay.
captured with the 4 lights.
Chain of command.
He
Chain of
did
command.
climb up
Yeah.
the
And
turbolift
then,
shaft, yes.
you know, he's an archaeologist. They probably climb a little bit here and there. He climbed in the episode where he's on Ryza with Vash when they're looking for that thing. And the
Okay,
time
so maybe he
traveling
does a
and
lot of
bounty
climbing.
hunters.
Fine.
He climbed a disaster when he was singing, right?
I get it, Bill.
He climbed in the episode The Last Arsenal. Or
You should know when
something
to
like
admit
that.
you're wrong. That's a positive.
Yeah,
We
and
can
then
take
when
from
they
that.
were when he had to leave
It
the
was
little
Arsenal
kids
of
out,
Freedom.
they climbed out of the turbo lift.
When they were singing.
Oh yeah, you did say that.
Wait, Captain Picard just said Zendi Kabu, but the subtitle said Sabu. Ugh, pathetic.
Oh, confirmed. Enterprise.
Star Trek is
foreshadowing.
completely unwatchable. Continuity errors everywhere.
This is another probe.
It's the same shot of the same probe. Just shoot it. Just shoot it. You have a
know,
gun.
If I was Netflix, I would just offer a built-in VPN service to all my members for free. Because this is getting a little ridiculous. I don't want to have 18 different streaming services. I want like maybe one, maybe two, but I can't. There's not enough content on like Disney Plus and CBS All Access and
there's
all these
not
others
enough
to warrant
time.
having
In our lives.
all these different services.
There's way more than enough content. The question is it the individual pieces of content that you want?
Right.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The content I'm after, it's not all in one place. It's piecemealed out, and I don't want. If I'm gonna spend $100 a month on streaming services, I might as well just have like full-blown cable package.
Somebody memed that before with Captain Planet. There we go.
So
Put
Picard
this in the
says
Discord.
he's proved he can get to us whenever he wants. Are we still sure we want to keep Vigo on the Enterprise?
So
That's why
there's
it might be time to hoist the Jolly Roger once again.
there's nothing to like about his son except for the fact that he's dashingly handsome.
Honestly, I don't think he's even that great.
Is he handsome?
He has the hair, right?
No, hair is the thing I hate about him specifically. I was about to mention he has weird poofy hair.
Okay.
Oh, he dropped out of the Ferengi voice for a second. Well, you can. People do it all the time. We have actuarial tables and everything. Turns out it's not worth that much. Let me look that up. What is the current price of a life? I think it. How much is a human life worth? NPR. No, this is just people talking. New York Times. That sounds more likely. God, and I can't read the New York Times one because they have a paywall.
Paywall it.
Oh, I have the New York Times. Do you need something?
I'll just find another source.
Okay.
That's what everybody does with the New York Times, apparently.
They don't even do the thing where, like, oh, you can read 2 articles a day if you want. No, you can't read nothing.
Can you use the what you call it, element zapper, and just remove the paywall and see the article behind it?
No, they set it up in such a way that doesn't work.
There's a Firefox extension called Bypass Paywalls that works all the time.
It's the same as element zapper. It's just probably packaged in a more user-friendly way. But if there's no article behind the paywall, there's nothing to see once you remove it.
Yeah, I use like a Readly just to. It does the same thing because it gets rid of that. Java pop up.
I wonder how Beverly feels in this episode, by the way. I mean, the fan favorite thing is that they're supposed to be together. And yet she's the one who had to give the news, obviously, that this boy is his son.
Yeah, and I was thinking that before when he was asking her for parenting advice. It's like you're also the person who brought her husband and child's father home, as a body. And so it's kind of really awkward for you to be talking about parenthood with the widow.
Boy,
and
it's
we
too
had-
bad you can't ask Jack about that. Boy, really nice if Jack were here. Jean-Luc, you could probably ask your best friend Jack all about being a father. Where is Jack? Huh? Where is he, Jean-Luc? Remind me.
we had an episode where Wesley and Beverly kind of speak about that, so it was kind of nice.
Patience?
Like I said, they knew they couldn't have Worf give any of these lines, so Beverly was the default.
Well, the most successful parent on the ship had their kid get groomed by a trans-dimensional space alien and run away together with them to become energy. So it sets a very low bar.
That's actually a pretty cool plot point, actually. I'd love to be turned into energy.
Well, good news. You can be. Probably not in the way that you'd expect.
This is not a good. This is the big plot loophole here that they've just put into the universe. If they've just declared that you can transport stuff through subspace, even unstably, there's really an opportunity to transport bombs to your enemy's ships or whatever.
Yeah,
you don't
because
care
you don't
if they
care if
blow
they
up.
get right. You don't care if their genetic material gets screwed up. You just want to transport a bomb. It's gonna blow up anyways.
That's funny. It's
Or
like
you
in
just-
Star Wars when they hyperspace through the other ship, and it's like, well, that destroys the entire continuity of the universe. So you're right. They just blew up the whole universe in the second to last episode. Bill.
Well, that's a little bit different because it does cost the ship, and if anybody was on the ship, it would have cost their whole lives anyway.
No, Bill. Here's the thing: you're not thinking with the right mindset. You don't use a ship.
I'm
You just
not
put a
thinking
hyperdrive.
dimensionally.
You just put a hyperdrive on an asteroid. You just put a big hyperdrive on an asteroid. You remote control it, and you just go boop. And there goes the Superstar Destroyer.
Hyperdrives are very expensive. Like they're worth the entire cost of the ship alone.
Well, are they worth destroying a Superstar Destroyer? I say probably yes. So
Robo,
there you go.
Robo, you sound like the kind of person who did not watch Rise of Skywalker, but there is a line.
I watched it.
The important thing is there's a line that calls out that attempt at a maneuver, a 1 in a million shot, like it's extremely difficult to actually aim properly or something. It just doesn't work 99.999% of the time.
The reasonable fix for that is always that they had that hyperspace beacon, was it? Like they had no way of tracking. What was that device they had? Anyway.
Frere Jacques, Frere.
Isn't that hard to explain why it worked this time and not other times?
The Sith wayfinder.
No, they were able to track the resistance through hyperspace.
Right. So if there's any way for them to detect back.
The point is, if it was so easy to destroy the giant capital ships, then they would have been doing that all along. The Rebel Alliance would have been launching hyperdrive asteroids at Superstar Destroyers.
Easy and no one did.
That was exactly what I said. It wasn't
situation.
1 in a million shot.
Yeah, there's two reasons why it wasn't done before.
Easy.
Primarily, A, it's not easy, and B, no one actually thought about doing it until the truly desperate situation there, where Holdo did it as absolute last resort.
I Look, the Rebel Alliance in Rogue One, right? They had a ship, the Hammerhead ships, that actually rammed the other ships into each other.
Not
They've
at light
thought about
speed.
ramming ships with ships, but the
But not
concept
in
is
that
there. I mean,
Whatever discussion
think
of
from the
how
beginning-
easy
the
it looked
beginning
is
of-
irrelevant because they specifically call out in canon that it's extremely, extremely difficult to pull off.
okay.
And it worked once.
Well, another thing that you do have to note is it's not even just that it was mentioned in canon, it's just that that is canonical. Hyperspace coordinates are incredibly difficult to compute.
Well, you just need a coordinate that takes you on a vector through a big capital ship.
Which would be even
It
harder
doesn't have
than
to be super
computing a.
precise when you're.
It would be
really
even
close to
harder
them.
than computing a known trajectory to another star system.
I don't know. I feel like if you're
You have
you're
to set a course through it,
me ship, you
which is
just
not as easy as setting a course to a specific star system, which is just in the
But-
computer system.
I feel like it was a lucky shot. Is not the most satisfying
I see what
explanation.
you're saying.
That's honestly like
I
I'm
feel
not
like
saying
you
it's
just
amazing, but it's still
choose a
like,
point on the
it's
other side
Gentlemen,
of the capital ship.
I'm making an executive
It's not
decision
that
to
easy
cut
to
off
set.
this discussion and go back to Star Trek. Star Trek.
Yeah.
Place like something hard to hard, difficult life, hard upbringing, yada yada. Who cares?
She made him sing though. She let him sing.
Did her future self? Wait, did this kid from the future go back and try to teach his mom how to fight?
Uh-huh.
Well, he doesn't have time crystals. You know, the one thing about Discovery giving Klingons time crystals does kind of explain, at least it gives a little more backstory to Alexander's time travel escapades. Like,
I was
okay,
thinking
so
of
he
Admiral
went
Janeway
got a
because
time
she had
crystal.
to go to the Klingons for that.
Well, he probably went to someone who had stolen it from them, because the Klingons were very, very.
They told, well, no, Pike went and got one, and he had to pay a penance, and the penance was being horribly disfigured and paralyzed, right? So, I feel
Yes,
like
that's-
Alexander probably.
that's
The only
what
reason that
happened.
was allowed is because the sun there allowed it.
He saw
wasn't-
the
it wasn't-
future. Pike saw the future that was going to befall him if he took the time crystal, and if he took
Right.
it locked those events in, and he took it anyways because he knew
Right.
he needed it to save everybody.
Right.
So he accepted the consequences. It
Right.
didn't disfigure him on the spot. It showed him this
Yeah.
is what will happen if you do this.
Right.
Do you accept the terms? And he said,
Right.
"Yep."
Yep.
He wasn't quite so
That
casual
scene-
about
that-
it. He seemed kind of
yeah.
traumatized by the whole event.
Yes,
I mean,
but that
he's not-
scene
he-
makes Picard
thought about
like
it-
Pike so much more powerful a character.
It does. It really improves on the plot. For once.
It makes him a more heroic character than any other captain in Star Trek.
It
Yeah.
makes him more heroic than anyone I've ever. Me.
Captain Pike also had a more lenient view of the Prime Directive, which I can always appreciate.
Well, he was from that period where the Prime Directive was meaningless, effectively.
needs-
Like, Giorgio just picked some random guy off of a planet.
Picard needs
Yeah,
a-
what's with that? Well,
I
he
don't
asked
think that
for
was
help,
her
right?
decision. She was just a lieutenant.
This is Dad of the Year trophy stuff going on here, guys. It's like, I want to be here for
But-
you.
People did complain about that, but literally, there's a
do
comment
that.
in Voyager from Janeway where they just took it all more reasonably, just took it all
Yeah.
more leniently.
It was the Wild West of space.
Chuckle and laugh with the pops.
Well, here's the thing. Nobody in the Delta Quadrant has ever heard about the Prime Directive. They could have made their own rules.
The whole
did.
point was
Nobody
that
outside
if
of
they
the senior
changed
staff
the
needs to
rules,
even
then they
know what's
wouldn't
happening
feel
outside
like
the ship.
Starfleet.
Well, my point is nobody outside the senior staff needs to even know what's happening outside the ship, so they
Tracy.
just do your job.
So we're gonna kill Bach, right? We're killing Bach, because every time we put him in jail, he comes back and tries to kill you. Right?
Yeah.
Kill him. Kill Bach. Use gun on Bach. Through the shields?
Through the shields.
How does that work?
Bach is reestablishing his lock.
The Bach lock.
How
Yeah, universe.
how does that work? But you can't transport through shields, and even if you like had they could change the frequency of the shields, right?
It
And
happens so many times in Star Trek.
if someone's transporting you, your information in their buffer array. So how are you stealing the information in their buffer array and putting in your buffer array?
Apparently it
Now
works
I'm
very
taking
well.
yours.
Oh God, do we have to do the close up? At least they're not doing the solid white background.
You think that they did that because they just didn't have a set for the bridge?
Probably.
I think they wanted to like highlight the alienness and the ugliness of it.
Was that copper tubing as handcuffs?
What was he holding there? Like wire cutters?
Yeah, little wire cutters. You didn't see his junk before?
I
How
love
about we
Brad
send
Pursuit is little.
How about we send a
sign off
security
there.
team instead of the captain?
No, it's gotta be the captain. It's the final.
How about Worf or Data? Let's send Data.
Confrontation with Bach.
Wait, doesn't usually the first officer interject, Captain? You're not allowed to go on any away missions. It's my responsibility. Allow
I
me.
think
Not
Riker
today.
understands that there's no way Picard won't be going.
Why don't we send?
Riker's like, no.
At least he has
I'm
a
out of
gun.
this.
I gotta stay out of this one.
Use gun on Bach.
Riker's like, you didn't help me with that whole alien kid thing that put me in the simulation. So
Tomahawk.
Who is named Jean-Luc, by the way.
yeah. Well, not
Yeah.
really, but in the simulation, yes. At one
The
point,
kid
he's
picked up the Jean-Luc.
in the simulation.
The alien.
He has a
too, I
real
think.
alien name. No, he has
Yeah.
a real alien name. I think at the end of the episode.
I
He's
think
gonna
this
make
is the
him
first
suffer.
time, other than through view screen, I think this is the first time we ever see the inside of a Ferengi ship.
We see this one other time. These bulb orbs.
Oh,
your
so
enemies
Captain
on the
Picard
beach.
didn't forget his shot. That's nice.
It was never a ransom.
What
He's doing the
ransom?
Columbo information dump here.
But not that I'm judging anyone. Doesn't this mean that like his mom had someone else important like the year after Jean-Luc? So that's why the whole confusion's going on.
Unless she got herself, unless she went to a clinic and like had a sperm donor or something.
Yeah, she could have. I'm in
She
vitro.
could just have another relationship.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that, in terms of what it appears her life goals were at that time, she
Or-
doesn't look like she was after a pregnancy.
could it have been she was cheating on Picard when she was with him?
They might not have been exclusive. They just
Okay,
could have been like a 21st century Tinder hookup, you know?
Right.
They think of Tinder on their little pads there. They're like swiping left, right.
He's so disappointed.
Well, actually, unironically, no, because pads can only handle one thing at a time, and most of them are Word documents. I don't know if you can put an app on a pad.
Did you put it on the tricorder or put it on his little desktop
You would have
computer
to put
that
it on.
seems really
Yeah, you'd have to
chunky?
put it on the laptops they all have.
Yeah, but there's no swipe left or swipe right on the pads.
The pads only scroll up or down.
Well, then you just swipe up or down. That's easy.
Well, the pads behave more like first generation Kindles, I think.
Yeah, they scroll.
they're e-ink. They're not LCTs.
Right.
No, I mean
The little scroll wheel that they have.
I'm pretty
mean, they
sure they're
don't-
just pieces of paper and a prop.
he stole a chicken bone.
It's not a. Okay. He's not your son, Picard. He's some guy you knew for a day. With dumb,
And-
poofy hair. I don't like it. It's too big. I honestly prefer Picard's hair
No,
to
I
Vigo's.
just noticed the
I mean, the lack of hair.
the
He has
original
hair on the back
Enterprise's
and sides.
transporter room had distinct circular pads that you would stand on to transport. This has sort of trapezium,
This-
but the actual transporter is still a circle in the middle of the trapezium.
The original transporter pads are still here on the set. They're just on the ceiling now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Set designer didn't want there to be any circles at all because he wanted it to imply that you could just transport anything. And then they slowly brought it back. I think in the first season, there's no separate sections on the bottom.
Here on the stream, the original
And
series
they also have it
transporter pad is
in
just
that,
up here now.
and they also have it light up circles in the middle in that episode at least. Yeah,
All
those are
right.
the original ones.
Oh my
If
god.
you look at his, oh, it's actually not shown in that image, but it did light up at the end there in the circle.
All right, so next episode and the last episode for today, Emergence. Let me type that into the title. Emergence. There we go. 1 minute to that.
And it
Okay.
opens with the scene from my second favorite Shakespeare play, apparently.
NS mode, that's such a great gif.
Well, what's your first favorite?
My first favorite is A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Ah,
It's so good pictures of Brent just dramatically signing off of the controls.
now this is a reference to Discord for anyone who's in YouTube.
Yes.
There's
like
a
to
Discord link
remind-
in the description, and it's just open to anyone who wants to join.
I like organically mentioning the Discord.
Yes. Shill for me, Soma.
Yeah.
Have you tried liking and
So-
subscribing and commenting? Patreon.com/Ryan's channel.
But
Everybody
I
press
don't
play in
do-
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Play.
I don't do
putting
it
an
out
early
of players. I
version
do it
of-
organically based on what's going on in the Discord.
Okay.
I'm putting an early version of the transporter in general.
On Discord, which you can access through the link in the
On
description to interact with the community.
Now, this is Brent Spiner playing Data, playing Prospero in The Tempest.
I still
did a
like his
very
hair
good
more
job
than
of it.
Vigo's. What is that book he's holding?
That's Prospero's Book of Magic.
Prospero is the wizard.
Oh, Data right here is explaining my problem with a lot of mods for games, especially like Skyrim, where it's like, Captain Picard, yes, thank you. I need to be able to see. I don't care if the dungeon is supposed to actually be pitch black in reality. I want to be able to see more than like the 2 feet across from the radius of a torch.
And I love how they are able to increase the lights. They must all be gas lamps.
Well, they're not. Well, okay. You mean in real life? I was thinking it's like, no, they're holographic. You can have
Yes,
as much light as
yes.
you want.
In real life, there must be gas
You know-
lamps because the one in the background just increased its height without being
Yeah.
touched.
This is another one of those intros where I remember watching Star Trek for the first time 11 p.m. at night. So it's like you're watching like, what show is this? Is this the wrong show? Because it's so dark. and then you're like, oh, okay, well, obviously he's wearing a
Almost as
uniform,
dark as
so
Deep
it's
Space Nine's lighting.
It's
So is
interesting that
Is Prospero a wizard, a sorcerer, or a warlock? I don't know anything about him. What is he?
it's
Well, it's not specified, except that
I
he was
assume
the
they did not
rightful-
reference D&D in the play. No.
No, he was the rightful Duke of Milan, and he was thrown out by an usurper.
Well, the question is, does Prospero have to learn his magic through study? Is it inherent and he can just do it,
Yes.
or does he have a pact with
No,
a greater being?
He uses it. He
it's
learns it through.
inherent.
He learns it through study of books.
Okay, so he's a
And
wizard.
when he made his escape immediately after he was usurped, one of his loyalists
that's really good lighting effects there.
Yeah.
put in the boat with him his infant daughter Miranda, and also his magic books. And when he got to the island, then he started learning, and that's how he became powerful
Okay.
enough that when the usurping Duke and his party are on a ship sailing by, he commands Ariel, who's an airy spirit who's a servant of him now, to create a tempest to blow the ship onto the shore. And Prospero's going to have his justice over the course of the play, where he hooks up his daughter with the rightful prince, and he gets to come back home victorious as the rightful Duke again.
Okay,
And
so
at the
it
end of the
sounds
play,
like Prospero
Victorious!
is a level 16 wizard. Because if he were level 17 or higher, he would have a
Right.
wish spell, so that wouldn't be necessary. But level 16 gives him the control weather spell.
Right, and he has a slave on the
indirect-
island, a creature called Calypso. And when he leaves, Calypso is very upset. So it's also a story about codependent relationships.
Yeah, that would be dominate person. That's a lower level spell. That should be fine. You could also use
Separation
gaze for that.
anxiety.
You mean Caliban?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Calypso is from ancient Greek.
So yeah, level
Excuse me.
16 wizard.
Calypso is the captain's yacht from the Enterprise E.
Sorry.
Wait, was that Calypso?
I
What
don't
was
know.
the one on the Enterprise
Calypso-
D?
Calypso was
Is
a
that the one I'm
demigoddess
missing?
in the Odyssey.
It's also a style of music from the West Indies.
Does
Yeah,
he have any
so
other
that-
D&D spells? Control weather, dominate person,
Cousteau.
gaze.
Well, it's not Prospero who creates the tempest directly. He commands Ariel, the spirit, to create the tempest.
Oh, so
Ariel's
he can
the
be
one
much
who's
lower
got
level,
power
and he
to do
just
it.
uses gaze to do that. Okay.
Cousteau is the Enterprise E.
Maybe
Captain's
like
yacht.
level
Calypso
13.
is the Enterprise D.
It's interesting that
Captain's
Data hasn't painted his stint a different color.
It's surprising to me that the outfit isn't holographic. I mean, it's always amusing.
Ariel took it there.
But it does seem unnecessary when people like O'Brien and Bashir are walking across the promenade in Viking outfits. It's like, can't those just be illusions on the holodeck?
Maybe they're having a cosplay convention on the Enterprise. Yeah.
Maybe it's
I didn't know what the Orient Express was until I watched this episode, probably because I was a kid. But it's kind of cool. But I met this random girl on the subway, but she just said, as she was getting off the train, "You never know who you'll meet on the Orient Express." No. Yeah, never mind. Beverly says that.
Not not the book, The Murder on the Orient Express,
Yeah, by Agatha Christie, right?
which
Yeah.
wasn't actually the Orient Express in the book, but you know.
But when you think about how it went all the way to Siberia, it is a pretty crazy train that like existed.
Crazy
Why would
Train.
you want to go to Siberia?
Well, it would take you along the route from like Istanbul to Siberia, so you'd be able to see the entire.
But
Um,
why would you want to go to Siberia?
It wasn't
Who
Who
about
goes to
the
Siberia?
destination. It was about the journey. It was like being on a luxury liner.
yes,
It was like a
But then,
cruise.
like they
on a
keep Queen
train.
Elizabeth II,
even
Yeah.
if it's about the journey, you can
Tracy-
have the destination anywhere but Siberia.
Tracy's on the bridge a lot this season.
Siberia is where
It was
people
a
get sent to
luxury thing.
exile to die.
It was before that. It was before that.
The ship gave that command.
Yeah, this episode makes no sense, and the series was ending, but it was really cool to watch, and it blew your mind.
Yeah.
This, I think,
got
is the
to
best
be-
episode of today.
When I was
Yeah,
at,
it is.
when I was at Gen Con one year, my first or second year there, I got to be a part of a LARP one evening.
Who's Jen?
So we were playing different characters on a train and whatever. And at the end of the whole game, it was finally revealed that one of the guys that was trying to stop us from doing whatever, he said, he asked the game master, can I tell everybody the secret now? Yeah, fine, you can tell them now. None of you exist. You're all holodeck characters on a starship for which I am the captain and he is my chief engineer.
Hey.
And clearly it was
Oh my
based on
God,
this
wait.
episode, but that was a really fun, that was my first LARPing experience. It was really fun.
Is this what
Wait,
happened to the Yamato?
It didn't.
Did
It's pretty
the
crazy
Yamato
because
become sentient and blow itself apart?
the ship just warped out of a dangerous situation by itself, and like we would have never known.
All I can think of is like it's like a frog that sensed danger and it jumped out of the way into warp. Now it landed and it's out of warp.
Yeah.
You know what? Here's the thing that really I always wondered. They really missing an opportunity here. They should learn how to basically get this life form to consent to running the ship for them, because that would be great to have a sentient ship that could anticipate your needs as long as it didn't become evil. But
Well, there's a Discovery short trek about that, and it went okay
The
there.
Discovery subplot.
Well, a subplot, but I was thinking of the episode Calypso.
Mm-hmm.
Is that why the episode's called Calypso? Is that a reference to this and the Tempest?
Maybe.
It was Caliban. The Calypso was my error.
Yeah,
Okay.
Caliban is a monster who's also been who Prospero also put as a servant
Yes,
to
Calypso
himself.
is the name of the Tia Dalma god from Pirates of the Caribbean. Any other real-life mythology is irrelevant. It's all about pirates.
Arr. Arr.
Turns into a bunch of crabs and falls into the
timber me
ocean.
timbers.
Like I said, the episode makes no sense, but it's amazing that we got to see like the our characters on the ship, and like the ship makes no the train, and the train makes no sense because it's like the knight with the paper people cut out as his ticket, and like the conductor accepts it. It was a Brandon Braga episode.
Oh, they get some crazy straws in there filled with glowy stuff.
Ooh. Those are some nice glow sticks.
Little
How does
sticks.
this work? How did that get there? There's no, like, replicator system in this
built
wall
itself.
panel.
It transported it there.
A force field
Transporters
of some
solve
kind,
all
even.
problems. Force field of some kind, you say?
Yes. Some kind of force field. Some kind of node.
Some level or another?
Ah, I should have counted that. And what do you even do about this? It's like you can't blow up the ship, you're on it. Do you pull out the antimatter out of the warp core? Take out all the
Using the
dilithium? What do you
crazy
do?
straws?
You also have to turn off the fusion generators. But then if you turn off all power, then you don't have life support, and you've only got a few hours.
Yeah.
I guess what should happen is they shut down all power to try to save themselves from the sentient ship. And then another starship, a main hero ship from another series shows up, and that's their adventure to solve the mystery.
You know what? If the ship becomes sentient in this episode, then they infest Enterprise.
What?
I don't understand. Go ahead, Ryan.
So what do you mean?
I mean, that's a quote from the motion picture.
I don't
Okay.
understand
Oh,
why
yeah.
they don't use reg edit.
Reg edits? What are you gonna reg edit?
Well, Reg is here, presumably, and doing some editing.
Hey,
I assume
Reg.
he's still on
That's
the
Ryan's
Enterprise.
brother, Reginald. Reginald edits.
Yeah, you have a brother. You mentioned that he might be a killer, but what's his name?
Reginald edits, clearly.
New
First name
Vertiform
Reginald, last name
City.
edits.
First name Reginald, last name edits. Huh?
Yeah, my father is Ryan Edits Sr.
Hey, that's the character that Data played in the Fistful of Datas.
Are you the eldest brother?
Except that we never saw him as played not by Data.
Yeah, we did,
Yeah, no, you're right because
didn't we?
No, we didn't see
Data
it. He
just
was
says
only
that
Data when he showed up.
it's a
We
conglomeration.
saw the father, right?
Oh, the
Before
father
the father
was a-
turned into Data.
No, the father
the
was
crew's
only ever
holodeck.
Data.
Programs.
Or no, the kid was
Yes.
a real person, and then Data.
Is Data
Mhm.
not a real person? That's really racist against androids.
Well, you know.
Hey, we do a lot of space racism on
Wait,
this
is that
show,
Neelix?
so.
No, it's
No.
not Neelix.
This guy is such a great actor because whatever you remember this
Pretty
guy
good.
from the episode.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure. I mean, I know he's been in Coen Brothers movies.
His name is David Huddleston.
David Huddleston.
Wait,
He was, like,
Huddleston or
born to play a train
Huddleston,
conductor.
excuse me.
It's like the epitome of a train conductor. He waddles through the train.
He was the Big Lebowski in The Big Lebowski.
Oh, of course.
Oh.
Yes.
I never saw that.
Neither have I, but
But-
it's a popular thing, I'm aware.
He reminds me
Big
of Drew
Lebowski,
Carey.
you've never seen it?
No.
No,
It is so worth seeing.
Wow.
I don't really like slapstick comedy.
Do they
It's
go
not
to
slapstick.
Oh, okay.
Did they go to New Vertiform City in The Big Lebowski?
No.
Then I don't care.
I like how Riker blames Worf.
Who's that guy?
That's
Thomas
the engineer.
Capacci. Thomas Capacci. He looks familiar. Let me just look up everyone who ever appears in any episode.
That's what we do here.
Star Trek Generations, he was a comm officer.
If you're the engineer who's doing the driving, that's a really cartoon question to ask.
Yeah.
Oh, I know him as a Vulcan in the Enterprise premiere in Broken Bow.
Yeah. They're
He's a bunch
trolling
of other
us at
stuff,
this
though.
point. They know it's like the last few episodes of the show.
Another important thing, that the engineer who was just shot is Kira's father. Kira Tobin.
Oh, the poor guy who had to watch his wife taken away by Gul Dukat's
Yes.
goons? Okay, thanks.
Well, good news. She got to live a much better life with Gul Dukat.
He was happy by the end of the
With
episode.
Hitler.
I mean, they had
Well,
full bellies, okay? I think
She was like Eva Braun.
their baby
whatever.
got to eat right for once.
No, it's brown.
Brawn, I thought.
The color brown in German is still pronounced brown, but you have to roll the R a little.
Brawn.
Brown.
Brown. Thank you.
Eva Braun.
Oh,
Are you
it is a
people
brown.
gonna leave? Wow. What do you
How
mean
is-
by you people?
How are they supposed
Yes,
to
us
leave?
people,
They're
as
on a
opposed
moving
to
train.
you, as opposed to you holograms.
Yeah. No, seriously, where are they expecting these people to go? Just jump out the door? Just go to another carriage? Are they allowed in a cargo carriage? What?
That's true. He didn't even say get off next stop or something like that.
Yeah.
If the conductor finds you without a ticket, he can just charge you money, but he doesn't even do that.
Can you imagine if the penalty really was to throw you off the train while it was in motion? I think
guess
there's
it would-
cartoons about that.
Be a strong incentive not to joyride a train. I don't know the proper term for it. Go without a ticket.
Like in the, like on the Zeppelin in Indiana
away.
Jones Crusade.
No ticket.
You get keel hauled if you try to
Commander,
get
I
on the train
believe what
without a
happens
ticket.
on the holodeck stays on the holodeck.
Yeah, there's no Vulcan love slaves in this episode.
No lusty Vulcan maids.
Yeah.
Well, we do have several holodeck programs about that. Holosuite programs.
You know, I really like about this episode is that we wonder where consciousness comes from, and I think the best answer I've heard is like it's something like emergence. You know,
But
Are
emerging
you quoting the
means that
episode
it's
title, or are
exiting-
you just using the word?
I think I'm doing both. Like,
But emerging from one place means that it's coming from someplace else, right?
Ooh,
yeah. So
in this
we
scene,
have,
we get
seen.
two some kinds of right next to each other from data.
yeah. That basically it's going to be some kind of processing
Some sort of neural
that becomes
matrix where
sentient.
what happens in the neural matrix?
Stays in the neural matrix.
That becomes some kind of self-awareness.
Some sort
God,
of
I'm-
neural matrix.
Yeah, I cut out a lot of dialogue in the middle here.
You know what is an imaginative idea for a video is to take certain conversations like this and just take from different episodes and just intercut them in such a way that they somehow make sense or somehow don't make sense at all, even though everybody's talking like it does.
But that's just that's what the conferences are anyways. Nothing here makes sense. And people are acting like it does. That's already happening.
No, we do some good cultural commentary sometimes. Like, I think you had a good insight, Ryan, about the Jadzia and her ex-wife episode, in the sense that, like, what is the episode really teaching us? You know, so that's a good thing to ask. What's the moral of the story?
Some kind of. Stand by.
Wow, twice in one
In
scene.
some form, yeah.
And then half the
Excellent.
time we're just making fun of what they say.
More than half.
Yeah. But you're quite insightful.
You say so. What?
You do a lot of
Here's my
language arts
insight.
stuff.
How is
Mhm.
Counselor Troy going to have any special ability to determine the motivations of the holodeck characters? They're holodeck characters. She can't sense them.
She's still
Yeah.
got her training as a counselor.
The intuition.
Does that apply to a newborn baby hologram?
She has experience with
I think so. Like,
a wide variety of things.
Well, experience and counseling, training and counseling, and intuition are all independent of
okay,
telepathy.
But each of these holodeck characters are very strong characters, and so you're gonna see a lot of like exaggerated emotions. So you have to be a counselor to read them.
Welcome aboard, counselor. Welcome to the train to Weirdsville.
Yeah.
Really, Worf? What kind of question is that? Do you not understand what a puzzle is?
He doesn't understand.
Ooh, those are the
It's the
crazy
connection of
straws.
nodes. Yes.
Yeah, it's not even subtle. Why don't you know this immediately, Worf? You were in the
Because he
briefing.
wasn't
We
with
saw a
Data.
picture.
They don't recognize it because they weren't the PCs present in the other scene.
But there was a picture of it in the briefing room that they were at the briefing.
Oh wait, they were.
They were in the conference.
That's really interesting. Like the episode is kind of saying that consciousness emerges when you have different pieces of the brain puzzle coming together. So it's like your sensory input plus your desire to live like a long life with your reason and your physical strength.
That guy really reminds me of Chief O'Brien's former captain who murdered a bunch of Cardis.
Oh my gosh.
Maxwell.
You just said the C word?
Yeah.
Maxwell.
I figured I'd be lenient to not call them spoonheads today.
Benjamin Maxwell. The minstrel
I don't think it's
boy.
the same actor, but he... No, it's not the same actor. But he just
The character
reminds me of him.
The character reminded me of Cyrus Redblock.
Do they have tickets this time?
Tickets, please. Throw him off the train. Literally. Oh, well, at least they actually arrived. That's nice.
Well, the camera's slightly tilted.
Okay, now
Gives
where
an
are they
element of
filming?
surrealness.
Well, probably
Direction in
LA.
these last episodes.
Does anyone recognize this specific intersection?
This is New York, really.
Yeah.
It looked like New York to me too, but
It said Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, and the Bronx on the subway sign.
Okay, so
Right?
Oh,
Oh, there.
It's a
You're
Paramount
ahead,
set backlot. That's made to look like
It's
New York,
fair.
yes.
I can't be ahead
They
because it's
used
my
this-
stream. You just must be
They used
behind.
this in Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
Far Beyond the Stars,
Yes.
where Father Cisco is preaching. He's the Methodist preacher.
I think they also do
Also-
they use it for the tenements and the
Bell. Rides.
Bell riots, yeah. I don't
That
know, maybe.
I could be wrong, but that door in the background, right between Data and Worf. I remember I was at a Warner Brothers studio tour, or Universal, can't remember which, right now, on a family vacation. And one of the
An audio
places that they
cable.
took us to on the tour was a lot just like this. It's specifically, literally just this. It looks like the center of a small city, and it's not. It's specifically for filming scenes like this in movies and
Yeah.
television.
Paramount backlot.
And our tour guide actually pointed to the exact spot where the upside down kiss was filmed in Spider-Man 1.
nice.
So did Data just plug a 3.5 millimeter audio cable into that?
Yeah, pretty much.
I didn't see.
Is he get what?
I think it
what
was
is
I
that
think it was the
gonna do?
big one. I think it was
yeah, I think it was a 500
the
volt, so or whatever
It
it
was
is.
the quarter inch, so it was the 5.5 or 6
Every-
millimeter.
Every time someone uses the cliche, like, "Oh, it hit me like a ton of bricks," I think of this episode.
I think of Roger Rabbit.
Oh, a golden brick. That would be heavier if it were gold.
That's why they said
He
gold,
wouldn't handle it so
not gold.
so
He's
easily.
not a real person. He's a hologram. He's infinitely strong. Holographic person, holographic brick.
Also, it's a holographic brick, so yes.
Troy, why are you shocked by this? You know it's the holodeck.
Now, Fuse will excuse me. I got a train to catch.
What magic
Yeah,
is this that
You
turns golden
guys-
bricks into clay? I need to find out which episode has the most some kinds of in it.
Some kind of episode search.
So it's probably this one because it makes the least sense.
I can find that out right now. Let me open up my search parameters. Oh, I accidentally paused for a second. That's fine. Just keep going. Yeah, that looks... I don't know what that looks like. It kind of looks CG, but the way it interacts with the floor, the light, that looks real.
It's CG because then it flies out of the ship later.
I like the look of it.
I do too.
It's really colorful and both rounded and angular.
Yeah. And
Oh,
I
that's
like
funny.
the crazy straws filled with neon.
Nice way of dealing with it.
That's pretty great.
What?
Go around.
He's just holding the tower back, stopping it.
Oh,
Okay, I'm scrolling through the TNG episodes. So far, the highest is Arsenal of Freedom with 6. But I'm still
Good shit,
scrolling. That's
lollipop.
season 1. Yeah, if the object
name of your
definitely
ship?
looks CG, but then how are they doing the light on the floor?
Hmm.
That's real
Falling
light.
Yeah.
barrels.
Yeah, don't worry about the barrels.
Oh,
Worf is
no.
in here. It's fine.
Okay.
Why are they breaking up a door?
Wonder how they actually got all those racks to shake.
Oh, new record. Interface. The one with Geordie's mom. With 7. And that interface is tied with masks at 7.
Hmm.
So all these are like the least memorable episodes because their plot was just some kind of plot device.
Oh, new record. This episode with 8.
That's what I told you.
Okay, so I just had another crash, but it was only a partial crash. The screen went black for a couple seconds and I lost audio.
Some kind
Is
of
your
crash.
OBS still working?
It's still streaming, but the screen is black.
You must have had some
You're
kind of
prepared.
system overload, some kind of system shutdown.
Yeah, I'm just going to put it to this warp field effect. Don't worry about it. Okay, so I haven't fixed the
Yeah.
crash completely, but I did prevent my whole computer blue screening. So I'm making progress.
Boy, you're living on the edge.
Honestly, I'm not that worried about it because as soon as the Intel Alder Lake comes out, I'm rebuilding the whole computer.
How long is that?
End of the year.
November maybe. It doesn't have a specific release date, but at the end of this year sometime, Q4. Oh, it also for some reason says Firstborn again. I definitely said Emergence before, and when I open it up, it says Emergence on the thing. What's going on there? Here, I'll just retype it. And that happened at 2:08 for the logs.
There's the red and blue jars in the back.
Very important.
So this is an episode that was rejected by earlier producers They're like, just put this on the back burner. We'll come up with it later. And then they're like, all right, well, now we need to round out the season, guys. So what about that script where the ship develops consciousness and becomes a life form unto itself? I'm like, yeah, let's make that one.
Okay, so what happened was the display driver crashed again and recovered.
See, I guess I was wrong about you folks.
Yep.
You must be some kind of legitimate passengers.
Yep. Something cool in the show Westworld. Well, they do this for a lot of movies, but when they're on the train
They just have got shorter arms than Worf.
Yeah. When they do the scenes with trains and people are going back and forth, the train car is actually on a flatbed, like truck, and that's what drives them across the highway to give them like a natural train moving effect.
Needn't. You know, I've never heard someone say needn't in real life. Also, I just searched some kind of in Voyager, and all the episodes are higher than all of TNG's. So that's good. Caretaker has 9, but that is a 2-parter.
But this is really cool, and it adds to the thing because, yeah, back in the day, you had to like shovel coal into an engine to make the locomotive go.
Prototype from Voyager. What was Prototype? I don't know. But it has 10. So that's a new record. Also something new, Vertiform City, we're going to help you, blah, blah, blah. Prototype has a lot of some kinds of.
Well, there's Vertiform particles.
Oh, new record. New record of 11 from the Voyager episode Scorpion, which is a 2-parter.
Wow.
Worf is thoroughly unimpressed.
It's some kind of tractor beam, some kind of particle.
That means that this episode was 2 parts, so it had 16 some kind of.
Okay, so the highest ever appears to be Scorpion parts 1 and 2 with 11.
Which series?
Voyager.
That's the one where 7 of 9 is introduced.
Oh.
That was a good shot of his arms there, actually.
Oh, Prototype was the episode with the race of machines. That sounds right. That's a good episode. Despite the some kinds of.
So some kind of is the new triangle ship then, right?
For Voyager, we could change to that, but the triangle ship does appear in Voyager.
Okay.
It's in Voyager and Enterprise, but it's very rare. But that just makes it more exciting when it does show up. Also, I don't want to be updating the counter 5 times every episode.
By the way, I don't know if you know this, but the stream is not showing the blurred episode.
It should be now. Yeah, that's right.
They weren't on the wrong track maybe they were, in the sense that they should have known that that star didn't have all the juice they needed.
No, I'm still seeing the Starfield.
Oh, no, the Starfield. Yeah, that's supposed to be there because the display driver crashed, and if I switch to the blur, it's just black.
Oh, I gotcha.
But if I switch to the info tab, that shows up. So, might as well have something up. Organic. I'm suggesting the Enterprise is a life form.
Some kind of life form.
Why do they say Vertion particles? Because we've already established that Verterons are a thing in Star Trek. Why can't it be Verterons?
I think it is supposed to be Verterons.
But they're saying Vertion. What?
Well, there are real life elements that are named very similar, but they're very different.
New Vertiform
So-
City.
Literally, yeah. Say, oh, this is New Amsterdam. Oh, this is New York. Oh,
New South
This is-
Wales. Who calls a place New South Wales? Why are there two adjectives?
Have you seen the sketch?
Yes. Yes, I have.
Okay, just checking.
New Hyde Park. You know.
Who has the captain's hatch in the captain's cabin?
Yes. I love those sketches.
There was it Judge Dredd or something where they had a city called New York?
It's Futurama.
And a couple of different things. That's also, I think it was a Dreamer's Dream Electric Sheep.
Oh, that was well, I haven't read the book, but Blade Runner itself, which is based on the book, takes place in Los Angeles.
No, right. I remember there's some. I remember. I'm sure I've read it in a novel, so I'll say I guess New York.
Do we need to bring the ship's pilot to drive the train, or can just anyone use it? Probably fine for just anyone. So how come it crashes when I'm doing a real stream, but when I stream just to a test to nobody, it's always perfectly stable for like a full day? Why would it do this to me? It's running all the same images. I have the same blur screen. I have the same filters going. The same audio filters, everything. I even tried streaming to Discord at the same time to make sure it was all good. Why? Why does it only crash when I'm doing a real stream? Is it the way Discord goes through the audio? But why would that crash the display driver? Out of spite? That sounds right. It's probably spite. I refused to buy it a new processor for a long time and now it hates me. I'll get it a new one soon. You're on a train track. That's not how it works. Carson, I object to the question and refuse to answer it. They're both good.
Who?
YouTube.
And he somehow knows to operate a train.
How do you slow to impulse speed with brakes on wheels? Apparently just like that. Works really well. We did it.
Works very well, thank you very much.
Can the whole ship be piloted like this permanently? Can you make the controls?
I mean, yeah, I suppose that you could.
The computer handles most of it anyway. I don't think most of the controls do anything. Wow, that's probably Vertions. I mean, it kind of just looked like a ripple effect on a matte painting, but it was probably Vertions. Actually, is that a matte painting? I don't know if that's a matte painting.
New Vertiform City!
It's clearly coming from behind the camera in this case now.
How did the
Yeah.
ship consciousness float away?
Very well.
Well, you've had days
thank
like
you for
that,
asking.
right? You've had days like that.
Yeah.
This
Where
they're
Ned
playing
Lance has
heroic
disappeared.
dramatic music here, but that's not the feeling I'm getting at all from this.
They've now got an unknown entity flying around in space that could come back and destroy the Federation at any minute.
How come everyone disappeared except the drinks they're holding?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
They might have
Yeah,
been
and-
replicated.
If V'ger created the Borg, then this thing is going to create something that none of us are going to be able to fight.
I thought the theory was that the Borg created V'ger.
Well, we sent Voyager 4 into space in 76.
Wow, they've upgraded from string quartet to Shakespeare plays. Wow.
Well, they started with Tempest.
But I'm talking about previous episodes. They love their string quartets.
Oh, brave new world that has such people in it. Well, there's another side to that scene, because Miranda's looking at drunk sailors thinking that they're such fabulous people when she says that.
Well, the previous scene, everyone was drinking on the holodeck, so that works.
But Picard is justifying why he let the thing go.
This is the flimsiest explanation.
Yeah, he's like, oh,
Yeah,
I knew the ship's consciousness was going to be good because we're good.
Yeah.
basically.
Well, on
Even
the
though
other hand, on the other hand, it's a lot like on the other hand, it's a lot like the measure of a man. You know, why should he condemn that to death when he was defending Data, 6 years ago or whatever it was,
Yes.
for the exact same principle.
You're right.
All right, so that's TNG for today. Today's episodes were fine. Next week's are actually very good. So, though, as a reminder, All Good Things is all the way filled up for voice channel reservations. So if you're not already reserved, you're out.
Or
And that
you
is
need the
really
overflow channel.
Yeah, but there will be a watch along queue where everybody who is overflow can still talk among themselves.
Yeah. So reserved for All Good Things is Argo, Soma, Bill, Earview, Deutschland, Sergeant, Robo, Gyrinx, and Michael. Which I think all of those people are here right now. Great.
the true loyalists.
Well, 7 of those 10 people are here.
Yes.
Tomorrow,
I'm also
Hoodie, please
reserved,
sign.
but it's my stream. I'm reserved for every episode.
And we also have Geordie Jeopardy today.
In the Discord, not on the YouTube stream, everyone. If you want to watch the Jeopardy with Geordie, that'll be in the Discord voice chat, and Bill's just gonna not copyright violation. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it.
We're all gonna watch our own ABC7 subscriptions.
Exactly. Everything's fine. What's tomorrow DS9? Tomorrow DS9 is Bada Bing Bada Bang.
Oh yes.
The best is yet to come.
It's literally the name of the episode?
Yeah, Bada
Yes,
Bing Bada
sir.
Bang.
Oh.
And then we
Then
have
Inter Armanum Sealant Legis, which, you're supposed to say in Latin. Latin accent, Roman accent. I don't know what that is, though. And then Penumbra, where Esri and Worf get together again, at least a little bit. I think that's the episode he calls her a Slevok, which is very impolite.
Mm-hmm.
Don't call people a Slevok. Yes, Michael?
No, I was just saying that Deep Space Nine is a good bit further behind TNG than I realized.
Yeah, but that's fine, because, TNG movies to deal with. In fact, how is that going to line up? Let's see. Bada Bang, Inter Arma. Then, let's see, how many weeks do we have left? This week, then another next week, week after. So in 3
We gotta
weeks will
finish
be
it
the
before it goes
finale
off
for
of,
DS9.
Netflix.
Next week, or in 3 weeks will be, so that means we'll still be 2 weeks ahead on TNG after we do all the movies, so we'll finish TNG 2 weeks later than DS9.
Oh, your stream crashed.
It still shows it's working for me.
Okay, the best is yet to come. Anyway.
Well, we're close to the end at any rate.
Oh, that's working now.
For today, we're at the end. We're done here. Leave me.
Yeah.